Hey everybody, how are you doing today? It's your old pal Boise. I'm sitting in the car just in park, hanging out in front of the CVS pharmacy. I just pulled in and I figured I'd go ahead, and I had a moment I would go ahead and do my daily video sobriety vlog. Today's Saturday, April 18th, 2026. It's 11:55, almost high noon. I've been sober for 14,263 days. That's 39 years and 18 days, or otherwise 468 months and 18 days. Yeah, okay. Today's topic, about reflecting on things, looking over my shoulder, looking back at where I've come from and what I've done. I'm looking at it currently today, and I'm going to talk about humility. Humbling yourself, humbling yourself to your weakness, your addiction, humbling yourself to people that you've wronged, humbling yourself to life itself, because when you're using and you're in the full rage of your addiction, you think that you are some kind of supreme master of it all, master of the universe. You've got everything under control. You know how other people think and move, and you know exactly what you're doing. You're navigating through this world effortlessly because you are so far above everyone else and so supreme in your way of thinking that there's no way that anyone could ever touch you till you crash, till reality gets you. That's when you realize that you're a jackass. It's a hard one to take. A lot of times you realize it when you're locked up and you're looking through bars and you've lost your freedom. That's kind of a quick way to get humbled real quick. You can be as bold as you want when you're locked up, but you look like a stupid banty rooster strutting around in a slaughterhouse. You're not going to get very far with that. You're really not. And then it starts to sink in that you're not. And then it starts to sink in that your friends and family know you're not. And then you realize all the things that you remember, because you don't remember everything you did because you're high as a kite. But the things you do remember, you realize, wow, I really put myself out there. People hear that and then see what I have become. I'm just a laughing stock. So it's really humbling, and it's embarrassing, and it's hurtful, and you realize you've hurt yourself actually more than you hurt others, and you've hurt a lot of people. Just a huge amount of people you've hurt, and you actually hurt yourself more. And you're like, how the hell did I achieve that? How? I can barely connect the dots, and I screwed myself over that hard. And it's real hard to get through, because when you go through treatment and you're in a lockup situation, you're trying to be, like for me, I was locked up with, 24 guys. There were two groups of 12. My group and the other group, they met differently, but we all congregated together. And you try to be as cool as you can in that group, but it's kind of a weird, awkward kabuki dance, because you're literally pretending that you're the turd that stinks the least. Is really the reality of it. And that's humbling in itself. And the things that you have to share with people, and the things that you hear as you're going through this, is stuff you've never even shared with other people when you were partying, and even the word love becomes obviously very difficult, and you have to try to use it, because the only time you ever use it is when you had your buddy in a headlock. Hey, I love you, you little fucker. Yeah. Oh, he said he loved me. We're good friends. But you would never say it in a sober context, like, I really love the fact that you're always here for me, and it means a lot to me. That's so hard for some people to even say to their own brother and sister. And if they say it, I mean a lot to me, you know. It's like they don't even, they want to spit it out so quick. They're not living with the words they're saying. And I had to learn, I learned as I became more humble about myself and opened myself up to others. That's when I realized that, hey, I should slow this down and really communicate this because it's important. Where before it was never important, it was something you glossed over, you didn't even really say, you know, you didn't want to say it. You know, and of course the classic 8 out of 10 families, we don't say we love each other, we just know it. All those words when it's easier just to go, I love you. I love you. I know we love each other, we just don't say it, we know it. It's a lot of words. And when you think about it, less meaning too. And less meaningful. And that's another thing you have to humble yourself to, because you can still be rejected by your own family members. You can still be rejected by your husband or wife. You can be rejected by your boyfriend or girlfriend. And a lot of us are fear of rejection. That's the one rejection we don't want to even tempt. When we have no problem breaking their hearts or destroying their plans or ruining their lives by our behavior. And then when we come out of it, we think they should be there with a feather mattress to catch us every time we fall. Because look at me, I'm suddenly detoxing and I'm suddenly becoming sober. Why isn't the world revolving around me? It took years for some people to even say to me, hey, you're doing a good job. 1 year, 2 years of sobriety, they didn't care. 5 years, they didn't care. 10, not everybody came to my side. 15, not everybody. 20, good majority of them. 25, pretty much all of them, but a few. And then I realized I had apologized and made amends to them. They had every opportunity to accept it, and it's their decision not to. It's not my decision to judge them, but it's my decision to cut them loose, let them go. And sometimes you have to weed the garden, and sometimes those are important family members who you thought, and you have to weed them out as well. But people say that time will heal. Time just goes on, and you can put it in the rearview mirror and you can not talk about it, but it's right there because you can do something to trigger it right away. And you can go, damn, I thought we went over this 10 years ago. You still mad about it? Well, you haven't fixed it. You know, it's like a sprained ankle, you know. It's harder to heal. And then every time someone bumps into you and you end up stepping on that ankle funny again, it re-hurts your ankle and you're in pain again and you're mad. It's a reaction because you cause people pain, so they react in a sometimes visceral way. And that's their way of reacting to you. But you're the one that brought it on. You're the one that triggered it. It's not for them to soften their blows either. As you get sober, you realize that you have to take those punches. You have to take those blows. And you have to deal with them. And sometimes you have to look at yourself and wonder, why did that one hurt so bad? What have I done to that person that I still haven't resolved within myself with that person? They're still pretty angry with me. What am I doing now to keep triggering it and making them uncomfortable and angry? There's got to be some way I could approach them differently. Or what am I doing? Maybe I'm saying things to them that I shouldn't be saying because I'm being prideful and I'm not being humble. And that's what happens a lot of times because, I've literally said, I'm too sober for this crap. I don't have to put up with it. And that's still pretty arrogant. It's true, but it's still pretty arrogant. Now, who am I saying that to? Am I saying it just in general to the world and I'm lashing out at the stupidity of 30% of this country? Yeah, I'm good with that. Am I saying it because I want someone to recognize that I'm sober and they should appreciate me more? Well, see, that's just false pride. Why do I need that? Why do I need them to have a parade for me? Is that necessary? A verbal parade or march around like this guy's the greatest, you know? Am I fishing for compliments? Is that why I'm reacting that way? See, there's a lot of things with interacting with people. And when you're trying to be humble, you're trying to talk to them one-on-one. But literally, you're kind of a half step down. You're letting them be the authority. You lean towards them as being in charge of the situation or in charge of your conversation. And you listen more than you talk, because everything they say to you is very important, and especially if it's to you and in regards to you, you want to make sure you hear what they're saying. Because if you're allowing yourself to be humble, you will be surprised at how some people open up. Some people you never would have thought would ever open up will open up even more. And that's a kind of a secret power when you realize this is good for family interaction. This is good for interpersonal relationships. This is very important. I got to make sure that I harvest this and nurture it. And the more you talk to certain people, you'll find out when you talk to them, you just pick up where you left off. And the conversations are more meaningful than they have been in the past. And that will mean a lot to you and that other individual, or 3/4 it's a group situation. And humbling yourself is just a fantastic way of stripping yourself down emotionally. And as you're rebuilding yourself, you're using some of the tools and building blocks of other people, because when people say something to you, they're generally a mirror. What they're saying, you can listen to it and you can look at it. They're reflecting back what they see at you that you might not see. And you really need to take that into consideration. And I'm not talking about someone who's got an axe to grind with you. That's, you have to, if they're a family member or a loved one, you have to work through that. That's a longer process. More rewarding in the end, but it will take time. But you want to make sure that you're open and honest as best you can every single day, what you can bring to the table at work, in your relationships, sons, daughters, wives, husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends. You want to make sure that you bring what you can to them. You're going to be rewarded for it. And even though it's humbling and it might seem awkward, it might even seem silly or frivolous to some people, because they can't humble themselves to be at that level. They eventually will learn that the more they humble themselves, the greater the rewards. So there is a benefit to it. But at first, it's very awkward, very difficult. Man, it was hard for me in treatment, being in lockup, because I'm locked up with a bunch of guys and you're trying to be macho, even though, like I said before in another vlog, that I would silently cry myself to sleep because I was so panicked. I didn't know how I was going to get out of this and what I had to do, and everything was a mystery. Everything was unknown, and that was very frightening to me because I had no control over anything. And the state and the city or whatever had arrested me, they had control over me. And the counselors, they had control over me. And the people who drug tested me, they had control over me. And my probation officer, she had control over me. The judge had control over me. There were certain people that have been in there longer than me, that have been sober a little bit longer than me. They had control over me. There was a pecking order in there, just like there is a pecking order in your home and your family or at work. And the only way you can move up that pecking order is by achievements that you make yourself, and then people decide that you've come along. So it takes a while. Everything took steps and steps. So when I tell you that I've been sober for as many days as I've been, that's a lot of steps. It's a lot of steps. And the best thing you do is be humble. Be humble with other people and yourself, and be easy on yourself as you're taking your steps. Like, I've been sober 14,263 days. It's Sunday, April 18th. I mean, man, That's a lot of steps. And every now and then I'm going to go back, talk about those steps, maybe in detail. Right now, I'm just kind of introducing you to the fact that I've been sober that long, and I'm going to be putting up these posts so I can help you understand where I'm at, and you can see where you're at, and maybe you can work on humility or whatever things that are coming up in your day-to-day daily steps. If you're doing the 12-step program, and I got these little books that have thought for the day, meditation and prayer of the day. These kind of things help you stay focused and give you a theme during the day. But sometimes just meeting other people at a meeting is fantastic. As I'm driving around doing rideshare, I picked up people that are in the program. And I've got them on recorded, so they're going to be posting those things up, and you'll see them in the drive-by too. But some people aren't addicted, don't have problems. They have family members, but they're not. And we never get that deep in a conversation. We just talk about weather, work, love, and life. And it's fun just to be able to have a nice, normal conversation with someone and take it to a little bit more of a detailed, intimate level and a little more give and take, instead of just, nice weather we're having, right? Yep. A little more than that, you know? And sometimes strangers, when you talk to them and they realize that you're open and you're actually interested, they open up. It's like a magical thing. So leave us a like and a subscribe and give us a comment. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know where you are in your 12-step program and how long you've been sober. Any advice you might want to give other people, because we all are in the same community together, and it's very important. Just because I have all those 14,000 plus days, that don't make me a general. I'm a foot soldier just like you. And every day we start again. Every day. That's what they mean by one day at a time. You start over again. You assess what you're doing, and you take it for as best you can, and do the best you can. It's very important. And I'll leave you with the closing salvo of Ringo. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love. I love the fact that you tune in. You're working on your sobriety, and you're part of the temple, and you're part of the community and the village that we are assembling, and you're part of the help with the outreach program. So I thank you for that. Thank you for your time. Your time is very valuable. And I will see you again on the next one. Peace and love. Peace and love. Love you all. See you next time. Bye-bye.